Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Paths of Glory. And I know I said I was going to talk about Licorice Pizza, but turns out I can't do that because for some reason I thought I could stream it online, but unfortunately not yet. And unfortunately it's not playing in any theaters near me, so I kind of had to just pick something else to watch instead. And I decided to watch Paths of Glory finally. And I'm glad I did because I really loved this movie. And with only seeing it once, I can easily say this is really fantastic. And I love so much that went in it. It's beautifully shot like all of Kubrick's movies, or at least the ones I've seen. And there's so many great shots in this movie that are just, I can just visualize how this movie, like almost every shot. And that's how memorable it was for me. And the acting was great, Kirk Douglas and everyone else. And I liked how each character was portrayed. There's not a whole lot going on with the characters, but like you don't know like their whole backstory. You get that they have families and they would like to see them again and not die and survive and go back to see them. That's fine. That's pretty much every war movie. And I loved how much is going on. It goes from one simple thing at the beginning, and pretty much our main characters, they're the General Paul? I think it was Paul. General Paul in the movie. He goes to this trench and he has orders to take over Ant Hill, I think it is. And they have orders to take over that place, and they try to take it over, but things kind of go wrong. Not in the way you're probably expecting. You might be expecting, oh, the French got overpowered by the Germans. It's that the French didn't go all out and some of the soldiers held back, and then that happens, and some soldiers are like facing death row basically, and there's a lot going on in this movie, and it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier, not by action but by what's happening like with the characters. And you're probably expecting a war movie, and it is a war movie, but there's really only like 2 action scenes in the whole movie, and they're in the first 30 minutes of the movie, and the rest of the movie is just dialogue. And I really love that choice because it's not about the fighting, it's about the characters and what they talk about, and like putting victory into question, and like what does it mean, victory? And I can't say much else about that because I don't want to spoil the movie, but it does get into that. But going back to something that I really wanted to talk about, at the beginning of the movie it did remind me a lot of 1917, where it's just guys all walking through the trenches and eventually getting orders to do something. And that's how the plot of the movie starts, and it's very reminiscent of 1917. The difference is this movie came out first. So I'm not saying 1917 ripped this movie off. I would say it's more inspired. And the reason I say that is because it's clear that 1917 clearly is going for something completely different as opposed to this movie. But going back to Paths of Glory, I love how well defined the characters are in this movie. Even though you don't know their backstory, you still get a sense of who they are just by their actions and the dialogue that's given to them. Like General Paul in this movie, his character is just walking down through the trenches and like, "Hello, soldier, ready to kill some Germans or some more Germans?" They're like, "Yes, sir." And eventually he goes to a soldier that's shell-shocked and once the general hears that, he's like, "There's no such thing as shell shock. Get this man out of here." And it's very clear that the general only cares about winning and caring about his goal and killing Germans, and that's it. And you learn so much just through visual storytelling, which I really love. And I kind of wanted to get into the action when it does happen. It's like really intense, and it's not really bloody. When characters get shot and killed in this movie, they just fall over. You don't see blood and guts all over the place, and it didn't feel like a movie just trying to gross you out, which is something that I liked. But that being said, it never felt poorly executed. Like, I never once believed that, oh, they're just falling over because that's what the script tells them to do. It looks like, oh, some of these guys look like they actually got shot and killed, and for a select few, when they fall over, it looks like they actually might have gotten hurt when they fell over because of how big of a fell they had. And I want to talk about the runtime a little bit. This movie is only an hour and a half, but it feels longer than that, and that's not to say that this movie wastes a lot of time. This movie is very well paced, it's very slow, but it earns that, and it makes you feel like you had you experienced a big adventure with all these characters, and it's satisfying, and that's what I really like about it. And that's about all I have to say about Paths of Glory. It's a really great Kubrick movie. I think it's one of his best. And I haven't seen all of his movies. The only ones I haven't seen are Fear and Desire, Killer's Kiss, The Killing, Lolita, and Eyes Wide Shut. Those are the only 5 that I have not seen yet. But everything else I have seen, and this one's really great. I would highly recommend that you check it out. I'll definitely be rewatching this many times, and initially, when I finished the movie, I was like, yeah, that was really good, and I was leaning like about a 9 out of 10, and I felt comfortable with that, but this is one of those movies where the more I talk about it and think about it, the more I like it, and because of that, I'm just going to do it. I really can't help myself, and I'm going to give Paths of Glory a 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Paths of Glory, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for The Godfather Part 3. I guess I have to watch this again. I watched it once already, like a year or so ago. And now I get to see it again. Great. But anyways, until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.